The busy harvest season continues, and for Schriemer Family Farm in Otterburne, it's been a particularly good growing season. Trevor Schriemer founded the farm back in 1999 and has built the family business to the point where they are now responsible for approximately 60% of all the sweet corn, cucumbers, squash, and pumpkins that Manitoba consumers purchase annually at their favorite grocery stores. And when it comes to pumpkins, let's just say that Schriemer Family Farm has the market covered.
We probably have about 500,000 pumpkins in this particular area.
And if you're thinking that there stands to be a lot of jack-o'-lanterns come Halloween night, you're absolutely correct.
Mainly these are for the Halloween market, and predominantly they go to Federated Co-op in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. That's all the co-op stores in the Western Canada. And they go exclusively for Sobeys in Manitoba as well.
To put it into perspective, all of the pumpkins you see are grown in a pumpkin patch, approximately 100 acres in size.
We plant mature plants out in the end of May, and then it takes from the end of May till this time of the year to harvest.
And when it comes to 500,000 pumpkins, harvest is no small accomplishment.
It's the most labor-intensive crop that we've got, especially at this time of year, because you also work against the weather at this time of year, because you can get a significant frost, you can get bad weather conditions, and you still have to get them out. So it's a crop that once it's off, I'm happy that it's off. It's very labor-intensive, and that's why there's not too many people that will do it. We are part of the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. The program has been in Manitoba for many, many years right now, many decades. It's a federal government program that works in combination with the Mexican Ministry of Labor to provide the Canadian agricultural industry, primarily the vegetable industry, a pool of laborers to be able to do the work in the fields that very few Canadians want to do.
With the latest government stats showing Manitoba's unemployment rate sitting at approximately 5.2%, it seems odd that there are no local candidates looking to fill the numerous jobs that Schriemer Family Farm has to offer.
It is unfortunate. The Service Canada and the federal government makes us advertise in 4 different media streams, and they make us do our due diligence in terms of trying to get Canadian workers first, because the policy is jobs for Canadians first. We have done so much work to try to get Canadians to work. It is just such a difficulty, especially in vegetable agriculture, because of the seasonality of it. Many kids go back to school in September, and yet September and October, November are big months in vegetable agriculture, and we need to have a labor force, otherwise we can't get the crops in.
Trevor looks back on his own family's experience during their immigration to Canada and is disappointed in the need for the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program in this country.
As a business owner and as a second-generation immigrant, and I've watched my parents work coming to this country, really they had nothing. And they were diligent and they worked very hard to get where they were. And today I see many people who just don't want to adopt that same kind of mindset, that work ethic that I think our parents had. I think it's very discouraging, that we have to rely on people from other countries to come here and actually do the kind of work that we're not willing to do. We have a number of Canadians working for us throughout the year, and predominantly what happens is that most of them work for a day or two and then they quit because they just can't take the kind of work that agriculture is involved in. And currently we have two young ladies that work for us, 19 and 20 years old, and they're from the Grunthal community. They work very hard, but those are the only 2 that we've got.
Despite the lack of local residents who are willing to take on this sort of employment, the show, or harvest in this case, must go on.
These will all be gone by October the 25th. So in the next 4 weeks, everything will be moved out of here quickly. What you see here represents about 40 semi-trailer loads, and they're stacked up in bins, 2 high in a truck. And these bins each hold 700 pounds, so they're 48,000 pounds go on a semi-trailer, and then they go to Saskatoon, Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg.
For Steinbach Online, I'm Karen Black.